Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. Early as usual. Let me read the position this morning. And it's all because of you. And all day, every day, anytime I'm listening to anything outside of myself, I'm listening to the story about you and what is happening to you and what should be happening to you and what should not be happening to you. I am spokesman and advocate for basic human rights for all people. And when I speak from the authority of the power that is responsible for your being here. Just as you have the right to breathe, which substantiates that you're probably alive, you have the same rights that are just as legitimate when it comes down to those things that produces life. So when I come to you, I want to let you know I'm kind of changing things around a little bit for understanding purposes. I'm going to start referring to that which is good as Jesus. Now, the reason I said Jesus is because regardless of what you believe about Jesus, I'm going to refer to Jesus like this. Jesus is God walking around here on earth. Jesus is God doing the right thing. But God is the overall picture, which Jesus represents. I'm going to refer to Satan as the overall picture of what evil represents. But just as Jesus represents all that which is good, the devil represents all that which is bad. So when I refer to you right in the future, I'm going to be referring to you to when I say that which is good for America or good for anything or good for all, that which is good, that which is righteous, I'm talking about Jesus. That which is unrighteous, that which is evil and creates the other kind of stuff, I'm referring to that as the devil. Now, having spoken for basic human rights for over 40 years, and I've shared with you the plan of Jesus according to Jesus, the Spirit. And I referred to you the other. But just for those of you who need to be reacquainted, I want to share this with you. God, Jesus, and truth represents peace, prosperity, freedom, joy, happiness, and living your dreams. You're suffering for nothing. Your needs, your wants, and your desires are met. You never suffer for food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, transportation, or anything that's made by the hands of man in the future that you would like to access. It is available to you. And this is God's plan for human beings on this earth living as though they are still in heaven or in heaven eventually. That's God, love, Jesus. Now, anything other than that, anything other than that is the devil. Anything other than that is the devil. And anything that you try that does not produce what heaven and Jesus and God is about is still the devil. So when I'm saying to you there's something that's going wrong, I'm not going to try to put it on a Republican. I'm not going to try to put it on a Democrat. I'm not going to try to put it on Trump. I'm not going to try to put it on Biden. If it's good, it's Jesus. If it's bad, it's the devil. Now, today, we are being represented mostly by the devil. What the Jesus advocate, the solution to all of this turmoil that we have, it'll work for America. It'll work for the whole earth. Respecting people according to love, God, and Jesus. Engaging them in life. Engaging them in life in a process where they ain't got to compete and outdo anybody, but find their comfort zone, a career of their own choosing that they love, that gives them their greatest joy, set up by Jesus, love, and God. That's why you live. To engage in life, loving what you're doing, and receiving the greatest joy in doing it. And it meets all of that which I've just mentioned, which is representative of love, representative of Jesus, representative of God. Now, This is what we all say we want. But let's look about in America. Do America possess this? No, America does not. Is there peace in America? Of course not. Is there prosperity for all? Of course not. So what we're basically saying is, especially when we look at what's going on now, not only is the devil trying to destroy you in education by cutting your access to it. Oh, and before I go even into that, there in the United States, they used to have a saying that says, no one is above the law. They used to have a saying, no one is above the law, until the devil came around with his card. I call it his. When the devil came around with his card and used his card, identifying as the devil was able to ride above the law. The devil was able to ride above the law with the insurrection. The devil was able to ride above the law with over 34 different crimes he was adjudicated as being guilty for. The devil was able to incite an insurrection on the American people. The devil, my friends, was able to release those people back into the public. The devil was able to go down in California the other day when people were speaking out because they were pissed off at the devil cutting their education, cutting their health care, cutting their housing, cutting everything that exists to help people. The devil was had a knife cutting it. And the people exercised their right to complain to one another, to say, we got to stop this. They came out in the streets to complain and let everybody in America know, and anybody in the world that's listening, know that we're tired of the devil. We are tired of the devil. The devil wasn't playing that. The devil went over there and said, let me see what else I can do. The devil decided to send to exercise, I hear, the authority that the governor has with his national guard. The devil wanted to usurp that. Take it. Wanted to send in more national guard into LA. Not only that, want to send in the Marine into the city of LA. And what is the purpose? To lift up and glorify Satan and let the world know, let Satan know that God ain't running nothing. I didn't say that right. Oh, yeah, I guess I did say that right. To let Satan know that God ain't running nothing. But Satan already knew that. Let me clarify. To let the devil know. And the devil is all that's running around making sure that God does not get any light here. And the purpose was to let Jesus know that the devil was running this show. And the devil proved himself, got all those people, went down there and started all kind of pain, started all kind of suffering, trying to make it worse and worse. That's what the devil does, makes it worse and worse. So when you look at California on the news today, you're going to see people out there representing Jesus, and you're going to see people out there representing the devil. The people representing Jesus are out there because they are being abused, and they're tired of the devil doing it. The devil is out there saying, I ain't stopping nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm above the law, and I'm going to raise evil up all over this country. I was thinking about that. And the thought crossed my mind is, what if, and this is just a supposition, what if the true power, decided that all of the people in the United States of America, I'm not going to go to as far as the earth is concerned, but what I say about the United States is applicable to the world. What if the ultimate power, looking down here on the United States, decide to cause a rapture of everyone that agrees with God's plan, that everyone that agrees with love, everyone in this country that believe in Jesus' plan, that believe in what I've just described earlier. What if a rapture came and just sucked all of those people up, however many there might be, many or few, just took them out and left nobody on earth but the devil and his minions? Will it be peace? Will there be Of course not. What would happen? The same thing. The devil is the devil. And all the devil is doing is devilishness. So if you raptured up all of the people that represented love, Jesus and God, and just left nobody here but the devil and all that evil, it would still continue. It just go and attack a different group of people because that's what it does. But let's not stop there. Let's just presuppose that that ultimate power was going to rapture not those who advocate for love and God and Jesus, but the others who are superior to the one that God has chosen, accepted, who deserve more than anybody else, and who desire it so much that they're willing to lie, to cheat, to steal, to cause hatred and racism and bigotry, to cause terror and murder and all this crazy stuff and war. Well, they talking about World War III. Now that's nothing but the devil. The devil, my friends, is what they're offering. So let's just say there was a rapture and raptured all of these folks up. Now we know one thing. We know that would be a lot of folks. Would it change anything? Would it deter anything? Well, if you're living in peace and you're prosperous and your needs are met, your desires are met, your wants are met, then why is there a reason to do anything else for other? Well, there is none except that it doesn't exist. And where it doesn't exist, the effort is always made to bring it about. The effort is always made for it to possibly exist. And it would not go any place because in order for you to maintain your heavenliness means you got to resist the devil all the time. And the devil ain't taking no breaks. But here was what I thought. They talked about the flood, and the flood came, and supposedly it wiped out most of the people, supposedly. And if it did, you wonder how bad it was then, especially when you consider how bad it is now. But they were wiped out. So let's see if they wiped out that group and they came back and they had a civil war. A civil war, my friends, you know what the war is like. You heard about the number of people that died. You remember the suffering, the pain. You remember what the destruction was, at least as much as they shared with us. Now, what was that? That was the war against the devil and Jesus. The war against the devil and Jesus. Who won? Well, in order for you to see who won, you have to think about Dr. King and all of what happened during that time. Why was that necessary? Because the devil was still on the scene. The devil wasn't gone any place. So after Dr. King, what happened? Today is what happened. So the Civil War, the flood, and Dr. King. Now this is just talking about America. I'm not talking about other stuff. And the world is America is at its worst right now. So none of that seemed to have worked. None of that seemed to have worked. So it appears the threat should be on America. You have had your time. Now your test and the results are due. If it were going to be a rapture by taking out those who represent Jesus, and would you know it? Yes, you know it because there would be nobody representing goodness. Or if the rapture took away the worst, would it really make a difference? It hasn't made a difference so far. So what does it mean, if you just thought about it and say simply, what could it mean when everything thus far have failed? You would think that it means the eradication of this planet. No humans on it. Why? because humans are not fit to live. Humans are prone for the devil and Satan. The devil and Satan did not make human beings. And when they are gone, unless the power that made them bring them back. So it appears as if the only thing that's happening is the devil is trying to destroy humanity. The devil is trying to destroy all things that are good. And how is the devil empowered? By ignorance, by stupidity, by deception, by lies and pain and suffering and killing. So today, if you had to say, well, ask the people, who do you want? The rapture for those that honor Jesus or those that honor the devil? The people would say, let the rapture come for those who honor Jesus. Why? Because they have no, even, well, that's it. Because they have no understanding. They have no righteousness. They have no soul. Why? That's another message for another time. But what I'm basically saying to you today, that we wake up this morning, we have Jesus out here across America. You might not be able to recognize Jesus. You might not even recognize that Jesus exists in America today. And the other is the devil. And I guarantee you're not going to have any problem identifying the devil, because the devil will be loud. The devil will be so loud. Here's key. What is Jesus going to do about the devil in America? What is Jesus going to do about the devil in America? Will people be drawn to Jesus in Jesus' way, or will they be sticking with the devil? Today, they are with the devil. Let me say it again. America, today you wake up this morning, yeah, you were awakened by the power of God as an expression of love for Jesus and what Jesus represents, you. But it also represents the devil. And the devil wants to destroy you today. See, the devil has no love. He has no love for people, no love for race, no love for government, no love for law, no love for nothing but himself. That's the devil. And everybody is used, even that 90% that does everything the devil wants done. The devil don't give a stink about you. Beyond your ability to serve and glorify the devil. And God allows you to another chance, another chance. I wrote something here called A War Between Jesus and the Devil. In America today, it's not about Republicans and Democrats. Remember this. In America today, all this confusion is going on. It's not between the devil and Democrats. It's not, let me repeat that. It didn't work out right. It's not between the Democrats and Republicans. It is not between whites and blacks. It is between Jesus and the devil. Jesus is about life. The devil is about destruction. And this morning, when you get up, turn your TV on. Those of you who haven't had them on, you'll hear somebody speaking about Jesus, but you'll turn the video on and you'll see the devil in action, because they're talking about Jesus a little bit. I don't know if they're talking about that much. I did hear somebody surprise me last night. I heard somebody talking about the goodness of life. And this is what you have to do if you're talking about changing. You're gonna be doing if you're talking about changing. So I heard somebody talking about that last night. That's a good sign. But then later on, I heard the opposite. I heard the devil, and the devil was upset. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember, anything that's good comes not from the Republicans or the Democrats or whites or blacks. It comes from Jesus here on this earth. Anything that's bad, pain, suffering, you losing your benefits, you can't eat, you can't drive a car, you can't have insurance, all that stuff, that's the devil. And that means not that you, my friends, that means that the devil has overcome and now your life is wrapped up in what the devil is all about. That means you're being denied the life that God has prepared for you. And that's everybody mostly in America. I can't think of anyone that's not, because anyone that is awakened to the facts of life that's going on right now, their only mission is to destroy by exposing this evilness and lifting up Jesus. And that's what the business would be done. They would be lifting up Jesus and out to destroy, not build up. Talking about I got to eat. Well, uh, I just got to pay bills. Uh, I don't worry about my 401k. Why would I worry about my 401k? All of those crazy stuff that the devils talk about. That's not important. The thing that is important is that there are people who do have to worry. Why? Because the devil is taking over. And Jesus, kind of quiet here, and it's not your fault. Goodbye for now.